Hey everybody, Coach Matt here. Happy holidays. Man, I hope the holidays are clicking along on all 8 cylinders for you. It's not a hassle, it's not a pain, and it's actually enjoyable. I have my own opinions about that, but on to our episode this week. Again, I hope everything's going well. So, is there a maintenance-free landscape? Can you picture one? A landscape that requires no landscape maintenance whatsoever. That is our topic today on this episode of Yard Coach. Glad you're here. Let's get going. Hey, I'm Matt. You can call me Coach. Every Friday I bring with me landscape DIY education, concepts and theories, ideas and solutions so you guys can go out and tackle a landscape project yourself, get professional results, save a whole lot of money in the process, and in this day and age, be a lot more self-reliant. Man, after a 20-plus year career in the green industry, I'm bringing with me a lot of knowledge and experience that I want to share with you guys, the new, modern, educated, self-reliant homeowner of today. You know something? The more I read, the more I see folks who want it all. They want everything. In this particular case, they want the beautiful landscape, the pride of the neighborhood, the flagship, if you will. But they also want little to no maintenance. Little to no maintenance. You know, from a DIY perspective, and from a professional perspective, and from an ornamental horticulture perspective, there is no such animal. There isn't. There is not. Why do I say this broad brush statement? Well, have you ever seen one? You know, even a paved concrete yard from door to fence and everything, even a paved concrete yard, which is probably about as minimal as you can get as far as maintenance requirement, it will still require some attention at one point or another. It may be very, very brief, but you're still going to have to blow the dust off, blow the leaves off. If you have trees in the neighbor's yard, you're going to have to do something in order to maintain it. And if you're really a good DIY homeowner, you're going to seal that stuff about every other year and make sure that it doesn't break down, especially if you're in the colder climates. So even a paved yard from corner to corner and from front to back, you're still going to have something. You know, the most minimal landscape I have seen was a condominium patio. This client of mine, she had a few items of furniture out there. She had a little lounge chair and a little bistro table with a couple of chairs, and she had a couple of fence decorations. And then she had one about 18-inch strip right in front of the fence that was actually dirt. You know, she hired me because she had bought the condominium. She thought it was extremely boring, although she never had to tend anything there because there wasn't really anything to tend. Even the little dirt strip never had any weeds come up in it. But she hired me to create a patio of container garden and fence face full of containers on the fence with draping colors and things that would really brighten up and almost tropicalize the patio. We had a great time doing it. It was a fun little project. Didn't take very long. We ended up putting in some low voltage lighting for her. We had some solar lighting out there that was on the fence that would shine down on the patio boxes that I had mounted on the fence itself. So we went from damn near nothing to where she had to tend it probably once a week. And it was in a kind of a western exposure, so it was in shade till right about 11:30, 12 o'clock during the growing season. And then it would be kind of warm during the daytime. But boy, did it look good. Man, and I came back for about 3 years, and then I didn't hear from her anymore. I think she probably got the confidence to do it herself. I'd replant. I'd take a lot of the annuals out. I'd freshen up the perennials. I did some more bulbs. We had even some small little palms, some sagos that were in there, and things look really good. I want to take just 2 seconds and rant for just a second. You know, it is like this channel occasionally gets criticized for introduction length or not getting immediately to the point of content approach. It seems like people these days are so impatient, even looking on how to do something, and that instant gratification is always the call of the day. Give me what I want. Give it now. And I don't want to pay for it. I don't care how much time it put into it. I don't care about content organization. My life is the most important, and it's going at 100 miles an hour, so don't slow me down. I don't have time for entertainment. I don't have time for quality. Period. I got some comments and an email about this. And when I took on this project, you know, and I do it for free. You know, the only monies that I see might be coming from the website. Part of having nice surroundings, landscape-wise, is to enjoy it. No doubt. But maintenance-free, ladies and gentlemen, maintenance-free is a daydream. That should be part of the cathartic fun and pride should be your maintenance and how you keep your home inside and out. Inside and out, in my humble opinion. So to get to the least amount of maintenance possible, you kind of have to divert from organic plant-based landscapes. You really do. You have to concentrate and focus on hardscape items only. Hardscape items. And a lot of people, you know, I don't know. I remember my condominium lady I mentioned, you know, she thought it was freaking boring. She really did. So when I talk about hardscape only, I'm talking about concrete again. I'm talking about decking, even though some decking will require some maintenance, even if you're using the composite decking boards and skirting boards. You know, you're still gonna have to check that underside once in a while. You're gonna have to make sure you don't get any fungus and dry rot. You may have to reset screws occasionally. Then there's other hardscape items like outdoor furniture, fence decor, you know, garden art, gas fire pits or propane fire pits. They don't require hardly any maintenance. Artificial plant decor, the old silk flower stuff. God, yeah. Coach actually said that, but it is an alternative. And you see it a lot in some commercial applications, you know, in some restaurants and stuff like that. But outdoors, yeah, when you see it and you point that yard out, sometimes those silk flowers have been there for like a decade and they're all sun faded and, you know, kind of goes along with, don't take offense, I'm just being fun here, just goes along with the pink flamingos in the yard. But something else you might want to try, something that is also neat and kind of all the rage right now is all the wireless audio that you can hook up to your phone, and you can have stereo sound outside that you can enjoy. Then it's just about where it comes to an end as far as the lowest maintenance you can get. That's about it. Maybe for some, that would be the perfect landscape. It would. If they didn't have to lift a freaking finger except maybe 2 times a year, and even then they might have somebody come in to do it all, then you've got it down to, man, less than a couple hours a year. Literally, a couple hours a year, and that's maintaining your own stuff or folding up furniture for the winter or whatever. This motif would fit those people's lifestyle, their time availability, and probably their green thumb prowess level, I might add. And it's nothing wrong with it. I am not putting down that kind of a like. I'm really not. It's just a little different for most people. But for those folks, it might be perfect. Another option is obviously outside labor or professional maintenance. Yes, you are not maintaining the landscape, but maintenance is still being performed despite all the greenscape that you have out there. It's still being performed and probably on a weekly basis. Just more of a, I kind of call them the checkbook landscape. That's what it boils down to. You're just writing a check for someone to come in and make green meatballs and mow the lawn, and maybe as a premium service, they're switching out color for you, they're fertilizing the yard, they're pruning, and they're doing that kind of stuff. But you're just paying for it, so it is one way to drastically reduce your maintenance time, obviously. So, hey, maybe leave me a comment somehow. Maybe you can go over to the email at youryardcoach@gmail.com. Leave me a comment and tell me what the perfect maintenance level is for you and a brief explanation of why, just so we can have a little interaction. Over on the YouTube channel, you can do the same thing. This weekend on Wisdom, I'll be talking about this, and I hope some of you guys join me. I really do. And you can tell me about your level of where you're at and where you want to be landscape maintenance wise. You know, maintenance is a real bone of contention with many people. Some find it extremely enjoyable, and yet others, it is a bane of their existence. It's almost like, yeah, I own a home. Yes, I have a yard, but I don't want to take care of it. I want to watch the game. I want to go golfing. I want to go out with the girl. I don't want to mow the, I've heard a lot over the years. Some people would just rather do other things rather than mow, prune, plant, and keep up with what they own, what they work so hard to get, what they work so hard to improve, then they don't want to do it. For me, I mean, just the tone and inflection that I bring to you, you can probably guess where I fall. When it comes to landscape maintenance, I rather enjoyed it. I rather enjoyed it from a multitude of angles. I loved it because it was exercise. I loved it because, with the exception of very, very hot Central Valley days in Northern California, I loved the way it looked after I got things done. But even then, it was always a source of pride for me as well. Especially after I got done mowing, I would turn the blower on and blow the walkways and the patio off and get rid of the dust because it was kind of an agricultural area, and then washing everything down nice and clean, and then finding shade and cracking a drink and admiring one's work, especially if I had planted things recently and they were starting to take hold. Ah, yeah, good time. So to reduce an organic landscape effort on a weekly basis, another option is to go lawnless. Go lawnless. Big fad back in the California drought from about, 2010 to 2015, almost 16, 5 years of drought. So many water restrictions. Man, it was one reason, couple that with the recession that we were coming out of back then. I would have been under. I would have folded my doors and had to go to work for someone else. No lawns generally mean less maintenance on a weekly basis. Most landscapes without lawns pushes maintenance levels to a more of a, depending on what your comfort level is, monthly and even seasonal, maybe 4 times a year, depending on what you've decided to use in your lawnless landscape. But is it maintenance free? No, my friends, it is not. It will still require some nips and tucks and feeding and raking and blowing of leaves and yeah. So if you want to be 100% free, get an apartment or embrace the fact that you have a landscape which millions, if not billions, of people around this globe would love to have and are envious of those who do have such a level and lifestyle that we do here in this country and in many other countries. Hey, you know something? Maintenance should not be a bane of someone's existence. There's always a way to reduce, and there's always a way to delegate. But to do nothing, yeah, that's when you become that house in the neighborhood. And that's just wrong. I'm sorry, maybe you disagree with me, and if you do, tell me why. But, everyone should be able to puff their chest out, pound on a little bit, and know full well that you take care of your yard. Whether you delegate it or you do it yourself, you take care of your vehicles, you take care of your home, you take care of your kids, you take care of your dog. You live the right way. So this particular episode, guys, because it is the holiday, and because I always try to please my listeners and viewers, it's a little shorter. This is it for this week. As the holidays crunch down, here we are coming in the last week now, and everybody gets busier and busier, and sometimes they just don't have time. Thought a few minutes shorter this week might help you a little bit. You let me know what you think. I will talk to you and see you guys next week. Stay safe, stay holiday sane, and remember what the real reason for the season is. Hey, bye for now. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Yard Coach podcast. Don't forget to head over to the website at youryardcoach.com, where you will find more DIY landscape education, including the free 15-step DIY landscape checklist, Coach Matt's ebook called Landscaping Simplified, and the flagship digital course, Homescape 1.0. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can email Coach Matt directly at youryardcoach@gmail.com. We'll see you right here next week.